Hey, what is up, guys? Pine Belt Beer Reviews back here again with you today for another one. The one I have for today is kind of an old favorite of mine, one that I haven't had in quite a while. Just recently, Super Bowl Sunday I did, and kind of got the taste for it again after that. So yeah, the one I have today is Miller High Life. Pretty much just a basic sort of American adjunct lager. Although um, this was kind of one that I drank gallons of before I got into craft beer. So it's just one of those kind of basic beers that was definitely an old favorite of mine. Before I kind of expanded my beer drinking tastes and everything like that. And something cool that I kind of like. Let me see if I can get all three of these in one hand. Well, something I like that Miller High Life does is they kind of do all these sort of um, kind of retro bottle labels a lot. They do these limited editions all the time. That's what it even says here on the little front there. It just has a limited edition there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. This black label is the most unique one out of the six pack. I'm just gonna go ahead and crack this one open. I'm gonna do it quickly because the only thing about Miller High Life is it does sort of it's an adjunct, and it's one of those adjuncts that you can really tell the difference as it warms up. The taste of it just definitely decreases in quality as it warms. So let's go ahead and get it poured. The champagne of beers, which I'm not really sure why it's called the champagne of beers, but um, in my opinion, in my assumption, is because it's one of the more carbonated beers that I've ever had. You can even see that there, how many bubbles are just sticking all on the glass. And another thing about Miller High Life is that for me, it's got one of the more like denser and thicker and stickier like heads that it produces of any other kind of beer that I've kind of had, at least any other kind of just sort of basic domestic. Anyway, it gets a 2.5 on Untapped, and it gets 63 on Beer Advocate, a poor score. The Bros give it an 80, which is a good score. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in and go for the nose on this one. And so yeah, one of the things that I've kind of noticed about High Life is that it's kind of one of the more uh, almost kind of like corn adjunct forward beers. It's a sweet smell to it. It's very very corny, corn like in the scent. Kind of like almost kind of like a creamed corn kind of smell to it, as well as kind of just like a kind of vegetable smell as well. Yeah, so kind of vegetables, corn, a little sweet. It's definitely sweet, sweeter than what most adjunct lagers. Again, it's very carbonated. It's got kind of a very golden appearance, very clear. The head's already dissipating in this Stella Artois chalice, but very carbonated though. And again, that's why I think it's called the champagne of beers, is just because I definitely could be wrong. You can correct me. Feel free to do so in the comments if you want. But I've always just kind of considered it like kind of like poor man champagne or something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with the flavor. Very malty, very I wouldn't say very, but I'd say decently light in flavor. But it's got kind of that adjunct like that sort of adjunct type flavor going on, that corn adjunct flavor going on in the middle. It just starts off very light and very malty on the front, and then it gets very kind of like I said, corn vegetable type of flavor in the middle with a very wet finish. Very drinkable, very crisp. Um, it's one of my favorite basic beers, adjunct beers overall, and it kind of always has been. When I was 21, 22, I would basically not really drink too much craft, and it was all mostly these kind of adjunct lagers. I would do the PBR, High Life, Schlitz, which is a very good one if you haven't tried it, and if it's always just been kind of a weird sort of retro looking beer, I definitely recommend Schlitz. While we're on the subject of those type of beers, but yeah, I've always kind of gone through phases with these, and this was one that I'd always when I go through a phase of this, I would it would be a decently long phase for sure before I switch back to drinking like PBR or something like that. But very carbonated, like I said. Uh, with that being said, though, it is a very good beer, B plus. I'd almost want to go A minus, but I'm gonna stay conservative with the rating. It's definitely just one of the better types of American adjunct lagers, in my opinion. Almost kind of similar to the Coors Original Banquet beer, which is also a very good one. But Miller High Life is always just like a kind of really good summertime beer that I always enjoy, um, especially when the weather warms up. So yeah, again with that, B plus for me. Definitely recommend just trying it if you haven't. Pretty cheap. You can get a 6 pack for I think at least where I am, you can get a 6 pack of the Tall Boys that have the little plastic rings around them. You can get a 6 pack of that for around $4, a little over $4. You can get, and I've never understood why they do that either with these kind of beers. Coors Light, Miller High Life, I think even Miller Lite, Bud Light. For some reason, the 16-ounce Tall Boys 6 packs are cheaper typically than the 6 ounce or the regular 12-ounce glass 6 packs. I don't know if that's because it's the glass that they use is the packing, basically the packaging material for the product, or if it's just maybe aluminum's cheaper to produce than glass. I have no idea, but never a bad thing when you get more beer for less money for sure. So anyway, B plus, definitely recommend picking it up. I'm rambling, so until next time, guys, thanks for watching.